Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a review on a film called Demon Fighter, which was released in 2022 by director David J. Spinoza, and it runs for 2 hours and 5 minutes. So the storyline goes, learning a family's father is practicing witchcraft, Father Michael agrees to investigate. This leads him into a world of demons, possessions, and nightmarish encounters. And apparently, this is inspired by historical events. So the introduction scene is a great way to pull the viewer in immediately. And then we dive into the film and where we meet Father Michael Martinez, played by John Azona, at an underground martial arts tournament. So the action scenes in this are really well done and look legit. This is when we can see how lethal Father Michael is as he takes down his opponent without hardly any effort at all. A stranger called Hank Jefferson tracks him down to ask for his help. Hank's friend Nick Stark has a daughter, Evelyn, who's worried about her parents who have become heavily involved in this new religion slash cult, and she's scared because her folks are partaking in rituals at night that might have something to do with witchcraft. There are some great revelatory scenes that are dispersed throughout the film, and I like the way that the information is delivered in many different ways as it shows good direction and writing because there is no dump of important information. They're revealed at a good pace and at the perfect times. For instance, via a dream and flashback scenes, we learn about Father Michael's background. From other people's point of views, such as the Stark family's neighbor, R.C. Lugo, we discover that strange things are happening over at the Starks' house. The moments with Rabbi Cohen are revelatory as we learn about the demon possessing the Stark family, Abaddon, the angel of the bottomless pit, the angel of death, the destroyer of mankind, and the chief of all demons. This adds more flesh and layering to the story arc and the overall plot. And as we can gather by this, Michael is up against some dangerous, dark forces. The characters are well thought out and we have enough time to invest in them. I really enjoyed the characterization of Father Michael. As we go through the film, we discover he's not the normal run of the mill priest. He's a vigilante looking out for the most vulnerable members of society, and he still goes to church, so he hasn't given up his faith, although he does have some unusual idiosyncrasies that go against his Catholic belief, like smoking weed, which we realize is his coping mechanism. But he also steals flowers from the cemetery. And he spent some time in jail where he found his faith in God. I like the characterization of the neighbor Lugo too, that he was in the military, thus making him a very observant person of everything that's going on in the neighborhood. So he knows that something is off at Stark's house. Vivian Stark, Nick's wife, she's a manipulative woman, and her behavior towards her children hits hard when she is supposed to be their protective figure. Nick wants to be a minister in the new religion that is obviously a cult and wants to baptize Avalon. So this is one of the main themes throughout the film is him wanting to baptize Avalon. So the rituals are darkly disturbing scenes. I also like the backstory of this religion in itself and how Nick found out about it through a letter by a barrister sent from England. The situation has become very serious and dangerous, and I can see why Avalon is terrified of her dad. The suspense and tension builds really nicely throughout the whole film and maximizes that towards the end. And it's great to see this so early on in the film. I was totally invested in the storyline and also the characters. So time is running out for Avalon because before she is baptized. Will Father Michael and Hank get to her in time to save her? Is the running question. So the ending sequence is dark, it's very grim, and we see that the demon has possessed Vivian, and she is now antagonizing Father Mike and Daniel, who's Avalon's fiance. Now that everyone has gathered, that's the Starks, including Lugo and Hank, as well as Father Mike and Daniel. They're all trying their hardest to save the family from Abaddon. Anthony, who is Avalon's brother, now he's in a very, very bad way, and Nick's totally lost to the dark side. I'm glad that they had the rabbi brought into the exorcism, um, and so we find out there's more to learn about Nick's ancestry, and it dates back to around 1500s, and this actually helps Father Mike with the situation at hand towards the end. Um, I've never seen a demon being tased before, so I thought that was literally really funny. But I think that the reason is because they've reached a stage where they'll try anything to loosen Abaddon's grip on Nick and the family. So the end scene is not only horrifying, but it's also very emotive. We're left with a massive cliffhanger that is not only shocking, but I did not see it coming at all. Overall, I highly recommend this film to watch. It's a hell of a ride, great production, and it didn't feel like I lost 2 hours of my life watching this film because everything happened so fast. It's an added bonus, really. All the cast played their roles with total commitment and authenticity, and this is just another example of phenomenal film by this director, and goes to show that indie productions can be amazing even with a smaller budget. So David Espinosa and Craig Aarons are, I've reviewed two other films of theirs, which is The Crumbs, which you've got to watch. It's brilliant. And Evil Down the Street had a massive twist at the end. And that one was fraught with terror. So I will link this film for you to watch as it is actually available on YouTube. And while you're there, check out the other films from him as well. So that's The Crumbs and Evil Down the Street. So yeah, fabulous films, great director. I love watching his films. So yeah, that's been my review of Demon Fighter. And until next time, stay safe out there, take care, and bye for now.